Well, it is springtime and you might be thinking about getting some chickens. And you're going to see a lot of videos and a lot of content telling you, yay, get the chickens, or no, don't get the chickens. But I want you to follow your instincts. Trust your gut. If you think it's right for you and your family, go for it. It's not that big of a deal. If your town allows it, and there are towns that do not allow it, make sure your ordinances are okay with it. Go get yourself some chickens. They are the sweetest thing in the world. Look at my girls. They're so happy today. It's a brisk, cold day, so I'm not going to pretend that getting chickens does not come with its share of work. I'm out there right now trying to make sure that their water isn't frozen and to give them a little bit of a treat. They love all sorts of stuff. Oh, I'm going to put that there. They love to eat all sorts of stuff. So basically, when I cook dinner, if I have any leftover vegetable scraps or eggshells, yes, they eat eggshells, uh, bird seed that I haven't given to the other birds, if I have leftover chunks of cooked meat, they love all of it. And so because of that, hey girls, don't fight. We barely have any garbage. So between my compost bin, my garden, my chickens, I don't really throw out a ton of food or waste. We have paper waste and we have plastic waste, but our waste has cut down substantially since we got our chickens, and that I am grateful for. So talking about the things that you are going to have to know before you decide to get some chickens is it's a messy business, all right? It can be awfully gross, especially in the wintertime. You're not going to be able to or want to go outside and pick up the eggs and clean out the coop every day. You're going to start out with good intentions. You're going to think you're going to do all this stuff and it's going to be easy and you're going to be on top of it. But the truth is, life gets ahead of you and it will not happen. You're going to be sitting in your house one day and it's going to be, negative 18 degrees outside, and you're going to think, why in the heck did I get myself chickens? And now I have to go outside and clean the coop, water them, take them food. So yes, it's definitely a responsibility. Excuse me, I'm putting eggs in my pocket because I didn't bring anything to get them. It is a big responsibility, but during the winter, I probably spend 15 minutes a day with them, and that's not in one shot. I come out, I bring them their food, I make sure that their water isn't frozen. If it is, I replace it. I have gotten them a water heater. The best one that I have been able to find so far is I have an extension cord that I run to a dog, like, what is it called? Oh my goodness. A dog water dish, just a dog water dish. It's a heated water dish for dogs that are outside. Anyway, that's what I have for them. And I don't have recommendations. Oh, let me back up. I have recommendations on coop. So starting a chicken endeavor, it can be costly when you first start it up. It can be as little or as much costly as you want it to be. I've seen people do their chicken coops with scraps from previous projects where they're not even buying anything to make their materials. And I've seen people who buy, $10,000 chicken coops to get started. We kind of did a trial and error sort of thing where I went and bought a prefab coop from Tractor Supply. I can tell you that was a mistake. It was $900 for like a medium-sized chicken coop, and it lasted about 2 years before it started falling apart, became a hazard. So then I went and I got that shed out there. It's a yard shed, and it was a bear to put together. I did it by myself, but I was able to get it done in a couple weeks. That thing was $800, so I spent more money than I needed to right off the bat just from that. And I also realized that I couldn't necessarily free range my chickens because they were getting eaten all the time. Chickens are the snack food of nature. So everybody loves chicken nuggets. I've never met a soul who's like, I don't like chicken. That goes for coyotes and foxes and raccoons and possums and hawks and owls and dogs, you name it. They want to eat your chickens. So you need to find some way to keep them safe if you want to keep them for a long time. I have that very Jimmy Rig looking fence around the coop. The first thing I did was I bought some, I want to say it's about 3 to 3.5 foot tall fence that I put around the area thinking that was going to do the trick. That doesn't do the trick. They just hop right on over that thing. So then I had to get some big 10-foot tall garden stakes and I put those up with some zip ties around the fenced in area, and I zip tied some garden netting around it, and that does a whopping lot better. It is not pretty. It is not pretty at all, but it does the trick. It keeps them in and it keeps them safe. And we have had far, far less um, predator incidents since we've had that. So, that being said, I say less. I don't say none. When you have chickens, chicken loss comes with the territory. So, prepare yourself for that. It's very difficult, especially if you're like me, you're a city girl and you're just getting started in the farm type of life, and you get your chickens and their babies and they're so cute, and you raise them and they all sit in your lap and they cuddle and they eat out of your hand, and you have named them all and they're just wonderful and now they're a part of your family, and then something comes and eats one. It's devastating. It is not going to feel good. So prepare yourself for that. It absolutely will happen. No matter how hard you try, something is going to happen. Either they're going to get eaten by something, or they're going to get sick and one's going to die. No one's perfect. And when we start out, we make a lot of mistakes. I know I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I could go back in time and redo. I did all the research. I thought I understood, but I just didn't. So it's a lot of trial and error when you first get started. But hey, you know what? That is okay. I think you should do it anyway, knowing when you go in full well that you're going to make some mistakes. No one is perfect, and you're going to beat yourself up. You're going to feel terrible. But at the end of the day, it is just so worth it. People talk about the cost of eggs and like, oh, you should get chickens because the cost of eggs goes up every year. That's not going to be a main reason for you to get chickens. When you get started, you're going to realize pretty quickly that it just the whole startup cost can be thousands of dollars. Can be, does not have to be. For me, it was a couple $1,000s to get all that started. And then, there's cost to buy the chicken feed as well. I have 14 chickens. I usually buy about 50 pounds of chicken feed every month and a half, give or take. In the winter, definitely count on $50 a month for chicken feed. I buy the organic stuff, but not because like I'm an organic only kind of girl. I'm just, that's what my chickens like. So that's what I get them because they're cute and they love that kind. So they get the 18% layer feed. I think it's 18 or 19%. I don't know. It's nature's something or another organic chicken feed. They like that stuff. It does the trick. But in the summertime, the cost does go down because they're eating bugs. They're foraging around for seeds. I do let them out of that enclosure. Starting right about now, it's February, towards the end of February, and I do let them out in the evening while I'm standing here watching them. So they pick the seeds up off the ground. They eat grass. They will eat any bugs they find. So they're really, really good for your garden in that aspect. But when I went into this with the belief that they were going to help me with my garden because they would eat the pests. That's what I had come to understand after watching other content creators talk about their chicken endeavor and how wonderful they were for pests in the garden. They are the garden pest, all right? You see these beautiful little raised beds I built here? I guess they're not so beautiful anymore. Your chickens are going to be in there, and whatever plants you put in there, they're going to dig them up. They're going to dig them up. They're going to roll around that dirt. They're just going to be gloriously dust bathing in your plants, and you're going to be so, 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 so mad. So do not think that they are like so helpful in the garden. They're not helpful. They're the opposite of helpful in the garden. You got to keep them away from your plants. So now I don't want to be in a position where I'm keeping them in there all summer, just cooped up, literally cooped up with nothing to do and just being crowded in together. I want them to be able to come outside when I'm out and able to watch them. So what I have to do is I kind of net that off. So I will have my herbs growing in there in the summertime. My broccoli will grow in there. Sometimes I have carrots growing there. I grow tomatoes, potatoes, you name it, I grow it. But I do have to net everything off pretty well to keep them out. And sometimes even that's not enough. So know that if you're going in for your gardening, know that it's going to come with some work for that too. Let's see. Good chickens to start with. You're going to do all this research. You're going to think you have this idea on what kind of chickens you want. You either want pretty chickens, chickens that lay pretty eggs. You want cute chickens. You're looking for friendly chickens. You're looking for chickens that lay a lot of eggs. You're looking for a pet. You have all these ideas in your head. And you're going to come up with a list of maybe 3 or 4 different kinds that you want. And then you're going to go over to Tractor Supply or Farm and Fleet or Fleet Farm or whichever one you have by you. And you're going to notice that they don't have the kind you want. And you're just going to end up buying whatever they have, because that's what I did. I just wanted my babies, and I didn't, I wanted Rhode Island Reds, and I wanted What else did I think I wanted? I wanted Rhode Island Red, I wanted Australorps, and I wanted Easter eggers. I think that's what I originally had wanted. But when I got to the Tractor Supply, it was Easter weekend, and guess what? They didn't have any. So I had to drive across the town to get to the other Tractor Supply, and they had some. And I had my little girl with me, and we were just desperately wanting our chickies, but they didn't have any of the kinds that I wanted. And so kind of just got what they had. And what they had were leghorns, and they had Brahmas, and they had something called smoky pearl chickens. And so I kind of ended up doing like, oh, I'll get a couple of each. So I got like, I think I ended up getting 4 leghorns and 2 Brahmas, and I got way more than I planned on going. That's another thing. You're gonna say you're gonna get 4 chickens, and you're gonna come home with like 10, and then half of those are probably gonna die from some horrible thing that you caused on accident. You're gonna grieve, but then you're gonna think you need to get more chickens, and you're gonna end up getting 10 more. That's chicken math. It happens to all of us. Get ready for it. So you think you're gonna have 4, you're going to have at least 6. Anyway, of those first chickens that I got, my very favorite ones are the leghorns. They are funny. Oh, she's leaving. She's leaving. Wow, girl, you guys get to witness Linda escaping the coop. There she goes. Are you going, my dear? Bye. So anyway, that being said, I have a chicken that escapes daily. She needs to go lay her egg in the garage. So I leave my garage door open just for her. There is absolutely no way I can keep that girl in. She just does not listen. I've accepted it. I pray for her. I hope that she survives. I know someday something's going to eat her. But for now, I just leave the garage door open and hope for the best. Back to chickens that you're going to want to get. The leghorn, my favorite. I now have one of those leghorns left, and she's been around the longest. Her name is Jan, and she's another escapee that once in a while leaves. She goes to lay her eggs in mysterious places that I have to go hunt down. But she's funny, and she comes to my kitchen door and she begs for food. So I open up the door and give her handouts. She's so cute. But leghorns are great. They're durable. They're smart. They're funny. They lay a lot of eggs, so that's a prolific egg layer. You're going to get a lot of eggs if you get leghorns. Another one like leghorns are Rhode Island Reds. They lay a nice brown egg. Leghorns lay a very white egg. I like the Rhode Island Reds as well. They're very durable. They've been very docile and friendly. I love my Australorps. They're black and they are just gorgeous. People will tell you that to get black chickens like Australorps to keep hawks away. That's kind of malarkey. Honestly, it's kind of a bunch of BS. It doesn't really do anything. A hawk is a smart animal, and they can tell a chicken when they see a chicken. They don't care what color it is. They're going to eat it. Anyway, they're really sweet birds, and I love them. The ones that I would avoid now that I've had a few, for me in Wisconsin, it gets very, 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 very cold here, -20 sometimes in the winter and that at night, and it's so windy. Brahmas are absolutely gorgeous. They're big, big girls. They're so fluffy. They got fluffy butts and they're cute. And they're friendly and they're docile. And they got furry boots on their feet. But those furry boots get really muddy and wet and they get frozen in the winter. So if you are not on top of shoveling out their area, they will have frozen feathers and it really hurts their feet. Knowing that now, I probably will not get Brahmas again. I also am under the impression they don't have a long lifespan, but I haven't had them long enough to know yet. Can't give you any advice there. They are prone to mites because of those feathers, and we have had leg mites because of that. So there's a problem called scaly leg mite that you might end up with. It's not that big of a deal. It can be fixed pretty easily if you catch it. Some Vaseline. You grab a chicken and rub some Vaseline on their legs, and that'll help take care of it. But with those feathers, it can be difficult. Another kind of chicken that I'll never get again are salmon favreros. I was told that they are really super friendly, and they are, but they're also very flighty, and I have a hard time catching them. So if they get out, and I don't want them to be out, they're one of the only ones that I have that I can't catch. So the rest of the girls see me coming, and they like do a little squatty dance. That's their like submission thing, and I can just pick them up and put them back in. It's not a problem. But that particular group of chickens, my favreros, as pretty as they are, they're really difficult to catch, and they're not my favorite. Every content creator that you see is going to tell you they have a different favorite, and mine is not the end all be all by any means. But I'm just telling you personally, those are 2 kinds of chickens I won't get again. Yes, I think that that's it. But hey, I'm new to YouTube and I'm going to be giving you some advice on chicken raising here. this spring and summer, and I plan on starting up a channel and getting that going. So if you're on the fence and you aren't certain if you want to get chickens or if you should get chickens, reach out to me. You can send me an email, DM me, comment on this video. I always, I don't really have any followers yet, but I will comment and get back to you with any information I can. I really think that it's a very enriching thing to do. That's awesome for the eggs. I mean, that's like the last reason I love having my chickens. We don't even eat that many eggs, but I sell them for $4 a dozen to a couple neighbors, and I give them away to neighbors in need. So I feel like I'm helping my community in some little way. Then I have my little companions in the garden, and I use their poop for my garden, so they are helpful in that aspect. And they do eat the bugs that I catch for them and give them by hand, but they're not going to help you with your garden. But there's a million other reasons to have them, especially if you have children. Boy, they're so much fun. And yeah, I have all the information you could ask for. And if I don't have the answer, I will find the answer for you. So reach out to me, let me know what you got, and we'll go from there. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Bye.